Here I am with another reflection on another Sunday. I thought it was an appropriate moment to do this this Sunday. I just finished my weekly reflection in the Compassion Circle, the weekly group reflections that we do, the weekly reflections that I've been talking about in my short videos in the last few days. Although I am leading it, I'm also a beneficiary of that experience. I really feel grateful for the people joining me on those sessions. It really kind of brings me back to my past moments where I used to do that kind of stuff on Sundays. But I guess now it's much more meaningful because I live in a strange way more complete life, more congruent life with my family. So it feels good. Just wanted to start with that feel good feeling. So I hope you had a good Sunday, or depending on where you're watching this, maybe you're still having a good Sunday. We're almost done with our Sunday here. There are a few things in my mind that I wanted to kind of informally muse. One of the things is this whole idea of doing what I'm doing right now, as speaking to a camera, imagining an audience. And this is becoming kind of mainstream way of communicating. It took me a while to kind of wrap my head around why I would do this. There was a period of overthinking about it for sure. But last, let's say 4 months, I feel like my spiritual wealth grew exponentially. So if you're considering doing something like this, maybe you could also learn one or two things about how I went from not doing anything at all. I wasn't someone who would post things on social media. That wasn't my thing. I rarely did that. But now I do this on a daily basis. I post things online for people to see, and that comes from a certain degree of trust and confidence in my daily practice. A long time ago, I learned the definition of expert. If you do something for 6 hours for 10 years, you could be considered an expert. So loosely speaking, maybe I'm an expert on something, perhaps as a therapist. But what happened in the past, let's say 3 years or so, is that years of spiritual conditioning, academic learning about spirituality and all of that kind of came flooding in to my personal life as I navigated my personal life challenges specifically. And there are a lot that I think would benefit from sharing. That was a testimony in my psychotherapy practice. What I mean by that is this unique blend of psychotherapy that I naturally gravitated towards practicing became something that other people benefited from, if that makes sense at all. I didn't know that until I put that to the test with them. So I'm again immensely grateful for the people, the secret people that you will never know, that chose to work with me and benefited from. And the nature of the job is that I benefited from that at the same time, because I got to see what I practiced, what I trusted, had a practical impact on their lives, and they were able to see what I saw, and there was that moment of trust that that does work. It is a formula that can be replicated. So overcoming doubts, self-doubts in this case, inner critiques, perfectionism, and those things are much easier steps to take now, like I'm doing now. I don't have a script about what I'm saying, and I have a great degree of openness, curiosity, and a childlike creativity to do this without really caring who would watch this. And all of those things are really important, because I know as I'm talking to you right now, I'm loving this. So if you're thinking of doing something, not of course you can do what I do, but there may be something that you wanted to do, something similar, not necessarily talking to a camera and then uploading that to the YouTube. It could be anything. Asking someone out, if you're a young person, or traveling somewhere, or baking a cake that you never did before but always wanted to do. Whatever that may be, it's worth doing, because when you do that act, the miracle that act create is irreplaceable. You will never experience that. I had the privilege and the fortune of seeing that, traveling to somewhere. Always wanted to do a PhD and did that. Always wanted to have a child, and I did that, and I have more than one now. So those things are undescribable when it happens. And this very thing that I'm doing right now, also another thing that I wanted to do, and now I do it, and you taste the flavor of that act. So if you're overthinking, if you're procrastinating because of all kinds of reasons, including perfectionism, I hope this will be an encouragement for you to take that step. The good news is that I didn't even thought of that particular message when I first sat here and started musing about this. All what I had was this feeling, this good feeling after my group work with my community members earlier on in the compassion circle, that there's something that I'm so grateful about, I wanted to talk about. So if at all, if there's something that you wanted to do and you have been sitting on it for ages, think about taking that step to do it. And taste the flavor of that action. It's something amazing. Something that would feed the desire to do more. All right? I'm trying to do these slightly longer reflections on a weekly basis. And as I do more, I can see that my creativity begin to flow towards that direction. I think about people who would benefit from these reflections, the knowledge and experience and the combination of that I could bring in. So if you find these reflections useful, please follow along. All right? Have a great week ahead. Take care, everybody.